Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, it is so over for Seth the Chef after last night's Raw.
A scrapped SmackDown segment to tell you about.
Got a big update on Shinsuke Nakamura after release rumors fly all over the place.
And is Netflix a scam? I'm Adam Wilborn.
We've cracked it, guys. Netflix was a scam all along. Who knew?
And this is the news.
We knew, obviously.
Yeah,
That's why we're telling.
Well, we're not on there.
This is completely insane. Is Netflix a scam? See what we mean by that later on.
Yes.
Right, let's talk about Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk.
Ooh!
The big dog is back. It's the first time he's been back in WWE since the Royal Rumble. Of course, if you remember the Royal Rumble, it was Seth the Chef, it was CM Punk, it was Roman Reigns. It was, they all eliminated each other, and then Logan Paul eliminated
Of course, yeah.
CM Punk. Afterwards, Rollins went absolutely mental. He stomped Roman Reigns' face on the steps in a move that looked like death.
Yep.
And CM Punk was like, oh God, what's going on, brother? Well, last night on Raw, we've got the culmination of, well, it's not the culmination because it's going to continue now.
Yeah.
But we got the steel cage match in Madison Square Gardens. I don't know why Hample always calls it gardens.
Yeah, I couldn't see any plants anywhere.
Yeah, no flowers anywhere. But yes, it was in Madison Square Garden. Cage match ran about, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes. Seth Rollins was in control, and then the big dog made his presence felt. Baby got into the cage, because that's a thing you should be able to do in cage. That's two cage matches in a row. I've had someone just walking through the door.
3 people in it in a one-on-one match.
I wish all companies would not do that as much, but it was a really good return angle. You know, my nitpicky stuff aside, it looked like Rollins kind of had the upper hand when all this was going on. Door swung open. Who was on the outside? Roman Reigns. He yanked Rollins out of the cage, which made Rollins win by getting pulled out of a cage.
Congratulations, you won, and now you're dead.
Yeah, and then he just absolutely murdered him, man. Rollins was stunned. We put his shocked face in the thumbnail today because it's a really good face.
It is.
Credit to him for giving us a good face to put on the image. And yeah, Roman laid him out with a Superman punch, a spear, and then he hit a curb stomp of his own. Then Reigns noticed Paul Heyman. He was inside the cage comforting CM Punk over his loss. Roman went into the ring and he drove Punk into the steel before spearing him to the final moments of the show. It was Roman Reigns standing tall. Paul Heyman was backed into a corner. So it looks like the triple threat between these gentlemen is on. Punk, Rollins, and Reigns. Not Heyman, he's not wrestling.
He's a special guest ref.
It might be funny if he did wrestle, but yeah, he ain't wrestling, don't worry about that.
I think he last teamed with Ryback, if I remember rightly.
He did. He once wrestled Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero had his hands cuffed behind his back. That was like 21 years ago. Fair play.
Classic, yeah.
So yeah, there you go. And obviously you have the added thing of what is the favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk after CM Punk rode into War Games last year and helped out against Solo Sikoa and his band of rascals. So all kinds of obvious storyline implications. From all of this, the triple threat match was reported weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Now it's coming to fruition here. Barring a major swerve, which I don't think they'll do. This looks to be the WrestleMania match, and it's bad news for Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
His attempt to kill Roman Reigns at the Rumble did not work.
Yeah, I loved all of this. I really enjoyed the cage match. I liked the way that they worked it, so the door was open, but not because someone was just kind of taking the easy way out. They contemplated it, but neither of them actually did it. And then Roman just came in and snatched Seth Rollins out of there. Yes, you won the match.
I think it's one of the funniest finishes ever. Winning by getting beaten up by another guy.
Yeah. But then, all the post stuff which you were anticipating with Roman and Seth. And we were talking about this on the preview yesterday. I was like, I get the connection between like Roman and Seth and each other and Seth and Punk. But like Roman and Punk, if you're going to do the triple threat, what's that there? And then obviously there's Paul Heyman. It all makes sense now. And I have to admit, I've gone from like, a triple threat at WrestleMania to... Yeah, put that in the main event. I absolutely love it. Like, there's 2 triple threats right now seemingly scheduled for WrestleMania. I think they're both absolutely phenomenal. They were built brilliantly on last night's show. Io Sky just slapping the taste out of
Which was good because they treated her like such a doormat early in that segment, and then she was like, "Oh, hey, screw you, F you." John Cena.
I really, really liked it, though. We'll talk more about it on the Raw review podcast later on today. But yeah, that seems to be the direction. Main event at WrestleMania, do you think they could sneak in there?
I don't know. let's just see how it goes. Obviously, like it's Roman Reigns. He's like him and Cody are the 1A and 1B, and it's CM Punk and it's Seth the Chef. It's huge, gigantic, enormous names. Ultimately, I don't think it really matters because Cody versus Cena is the ticket-selling match for this show. I know there's not many tickets left, so maybe it's a bit redundant.
Put anything on there. Paul Heyman on there.
Yeah, it's more of a gesture than anything else. The headliner for night one. I don't think it matters.
No,
personally, it's
a big thing for CM Punk, but yeah.
Oh, he did an interview the other day where he was like, you know what? Doesn't matter if I'm not that worried. Are you, mate?
Maybe because he knew that this was going to be happening. I think the favour is going to be Roman wants to kill Seth.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I just had to kill Punk because he was with Heyman. And Punk's going to be like, no, I want in that match as well. I want to kick both their asses.
Maybe that's the favour.
Yeah, so that's what I think's going to happen.
Give me this guy and this guy.
Put me in there. And yes, it's huge, isn't it? It's 3 huge names.
It's a big boy.
WrestleMania. Like, people were worried. I always kept the faith, but people were worried before the Elimination Chamber about how WrestleMania was going to shape up. But now that card is looking so great. So excited to be heading over there, of course. Join us for our live show, of course, at the HyperX the night before WrestleMania. Yes. WhatCulture.com/tickets.
Lots going on. And I think the Cena heel turn adds so much to everything.
Speaking of the Cena heel turn,
he's back next week.
He is, yes. Brussels.
Yes, sir. I've been to Brussels.
Oh, have you?
Yep.
Have you had any sprouts when you were there?
No, I had lots of chips. They love chips. Frites.
I'm gonna say, wild statement. Chips better than sprouts.
Agreed. A fried potato is objectively better than a green blob. Every time.
Fish and sprouts on a Friday night in the Wilborn household isn't very
what the hell?
A very common occurrence.
Healthy, folks.
Disgusting. They are disgusting, Brussels sprouts.
I keep getting told you got to cook them right, and it's like, no.
What you need to do is like cook them for about 20-25 minutes and then take that tray, right, and chuck it straight in the bin.
Give it a seasoning of bin juice.
It's when people are like, oh, you can make them really taste nice if you put bacon with it. Well, yeah, because it's got bacon.
It's bacon, gosh. And it's like, oh, cool, I'm going to have this. Because they're really good for you. They're not a superfood. They're like good for your brain and
like
stuff.
Little fart balls, though, aren't they?
They are little fart balls. You will be gassing the place. You will be, your friends will hate you. But like, they're supposed to be these really healthy things. I'll put bacon in them. Cool, it's not healthy anymore.
Completely defeated.
What is the purpose of Brussels sprouts? No disrespect to the city of Brussels. I know.
No.
You're not sprouts. I like Brussels a lot. I like your beer. Your beer is insane. It's all 9%. It's just
let's go.
It's crazy. It's great, though. It's really good.
But now people hate John Cena just as much as they hate sprouts. And on Raw last night and on SmackDown on Friday night, we had promos from Cody Rhodes basically vowing revenge as he's sporting that shiner from Travis Scott, who's going to get a receipt down the line, I think. But yes, apparently there was another Cody Rhodes segment planned for last week's SmackDown, but it ended up getting scrapped. I think it was probably the right call, actually. Like I said, we had the Cody Rhodes impassioned John Cena promo. You want some, come get some, basically.
You want some?
You want some?
Hit him with the Wheelstone Raider.
But apparently on the internal SmackDown run sheet, there was also plans to have Rhodes have an interaction with R-Truth, obviously with a great deal of history there with CM Punk. When Fightful asked why that didn't happen, though, they didn't get a firm answer, but the speculation backstage was that it would have affected the gravity of Cody Rhodes' promo. Yes, we had a fun segment with Rhodes and Truth on the road to him potentially selling his soul, of course, at Elimination Chamber. But I agree, I think it would have completely undercut it.
Oh, you're right.
I can't
You're right,
accept
mate.
this.
You're right, mate. You're right, mate.
I can't accept this.
Slug.
Yeah, I just think it would have slightly weakened Cody Rhodes. I'm going to kick your ass. Hey, R-Truth's here, guys.
Yeah, definitely. I think John Cena should kill R-Truth. I think that, like, not literally kill him, but, like, they should do a segment before Mania where R-Truth does this, like, earnest, what are you doing about the kids, blah, 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 blah.
Remember the Raw after WrestleMania last year?
Yeah, I love you, John Cena, and then John Cena destroys him. That would be pretty effective. Because, like, I still find R-Truth pretty funny, I'm not going to lie. Like, him trying to tag himself in the other week was really, like, it was good enough, but, like, it is kind of, like, not really a main event gimmick.
It's not worth distracting yourself from the big story.
Exactly. It's a mid-card gimmick, but like he's all very sympathetic, and I think that if John Cena just destroyed him as part of this build, I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
So I don't know why this segment got cancelled, but yeah, if John Cena bloodies him up.
Just booking segments for people to die on the road to WrestleMania. I want Jimmy Uso to get destroyed by Gunther.
Hey, wrestling's all about heat and hate.
Yes.
Whether it's not, it's not none of this Fisher Price nonsense. Let's go. Let's
Heat,
get some
hate, and harmony. That's what Triple H stands for.
There you go. Jesus. Triple H. Right, let's talk about Triple... No, he's got nothing to do with
I
this.
suppose he's related to this. He's in charge.
Well, he writes the stories, I guess. He writes the stories.
Writes the cinema, some people say.
And he probably wrote the story that involved this man becoming United States champ. So there's your link. Shinsuke Nakamura, we're a couple of days behind on this, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. What the hell's going on with him? So this is a weird one. Somebody made this up, right? Somebody just made this up, and it took off.
Should we start doing this?
Yeah, just go.
Start making stuff up.
John Moxley has been released by AEW. There
What?
you go. There you go. Aggregate the aggregators. See what happens there. But yeah, someone just made this up. I don't know who, but it spread around. A bunch of people took it at face value. It was on Reddit. It was on socials. Some people made videos about it, thinking that Shinsuke Nakamura was getting released. But basically, I don't know where it came from. Somebody lit a match, threw it in a pile of waste paper, and the rumor was that Wade Keller of Pro Wrestling Torch, who's usually bang on the money when it comes to scoops and stuff, doesn't do many, but when he does, they're usually pretty accurate. Was the WWE were originally going to do Shinsuke versus LA Knight at WrestleMania, but they felt that Shinsuke wasn't really putting in the effort, and the match it didn't feel like a WrestleMania match, so they did it on SmackDown. Then after losing the United States title to LA Knight, WWE were either going to release him or bench him until his contract expired. This isn't true. Fightful reported shortly after this, here's what they wrote. When asking around in WWE, nobody we talked to had heard anything to lend credibility to Shinsuke Nakamura leaving WWE. So he's, it's not a thing.
No.
Now, Nakamura, interesting place in 2025. I don't know your thoughts on the gimmick and the reinvention.
Cool new entrance, and that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, he's just... I've got a hot take on Shinsuke Nakamura. A lot of people are going to hate this, but hey, that's why I'm here. I think that Shinsuke Nakamura peaked in WWE in his first match. I think that Sami Zayn match was his only truly great match in the company. I think that he came over and realized, hey, I can just vibe. I can just be a cool guy with awesome ring entrance and great charisma, and I can just kind of chill. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't had very good matches.
Yeah, loved him in the Rumble that he won.
And I think some of the... Actually, despite that stuff, some of the AJ stuff was good.
Yeah.
There has been good matches, for sure. But the true greatness, blow your head off matches, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
That's it.
Always comes back to Sami, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think in 2025, he's a bit... his better days are behind
washed.
him.
I hate to say this because I was a huge Shinsuke fan when he came in, and I didn't really know a lot about him, full disclosure, when he first arrived. But yeah, I fell in love with him with the NXT match, and then obviously he moved up to the main roster, won the Rumble. I was like, here we go, and then WrestleMania happened. The most forgettable United States Championship reign in recent memory for me. Like, he's done nothing with it. Like, we were talking about this on the SmackDown review podcast yesterday. I don't know what the strategy was. He's had a few defenses in there, but they were all a bit like, and a miss. I love a miss spot, but still. Or like just cheating to retain. It felt like they were like, right, we want LA Knight to go into WrestleMania with the United States Championship, but we don't really want him to hold it for all this time in between. We'll just put it on Shinsuke for a bit and not do anything with him.
Yeah.
So I can understand why there's an element of believability to this story, despite the fact it's some... Do you reckon they've got like a rumor generator? They just spin it, it gets a wrestler's name, and it's like, okay, we got poor Wade Keller, by the way, in all this.
Yeah.
He's done nothing wrong. Wade Keller, Mike Johnson, Sean Ross Sapp, Chris Featherston, WrestleVotes. One of them just gets generated, and then they go make up a story about it.
Yeah.
Say it came from them.
It's so wild as well because I saw this first on Reddit, which is always a great place. They love us as well.
Yeah.
Reddit loves us.
I've been on the front page of Reddit before, you know.
I know.
It's a weird place to be, let me tell you.
Yeah, was that for that tweet?
It was the face swap with me and Finding Nemo, yeah.
Non-aesthetic things.
Pops up every few months, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. Sorry about that, everyone.
But yeah, I first saw it on Reddit, and they linked to a podcast, right? It was a 30-minute review of SmackDown where Keller allegedly said these things. I listened to the whole podcast. 30 minutes, a time and a half, a speed and a half, obviously. So 20 minutes, nothing there. So whoever posted it didn't even listen to this thing. They just put this thing out there. It's so wild. It's so crazy.
That's a great idea. I'm going to say our podcast has done something like that, and our listenership will go through the goddamn roof. Exclusive John Moxley story only on the WhatCulture Wrestling podcast.
Let's go. Jade Cargill has beheaded Liv Morgan backstage. There we go. You want to know about beef? There we go.
I don't think Shinsuke's going to work WrestleMania though. Genuinely.
Yeah,
he's done.
I think he's just not the wrestler he used to be. I don't think that's a controversial statement. Now look, when I saw this, I thought, my first thought was that, maybe he's going to go to New Japan and do one last match with Tanahashi, his old mate, because it's Tanahashi's retirement year. And that would be it would be, it wouldn't be the match it was 15 years ago, obviously, but it would be a nice thing. It would be, maybe they'll let him do that anyway, I don't know.
But I hope so.
There we go.
He has a nice,
That would be nice. I'd like his old music and his old New Japan music rocks as well, so I'd love to hear that.
Right, let's talk about Netflix being a scam. It's what we're all here for, of course. This comes off the back of last night's Raw. On there was a lot of eventful moments, of course, but many of it we didn't see because of a black screen or censorship, effectively. Cody Rhodes' promo had the word moron censored. We all right to say that?
Moron is such a soft word to censor.
People say a lot worse.
What's that? Moron?
Cody said the F word at Elimination Chamber, let's not forget. And several moments during that cage match, people did this, Andy.
Whoa! The goblins will come for us.
We don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah, no middle fingers.
Middle finger, you know what it is. During the match, and people flipped out because, it was sort of irregular. It was like whoever's pressing the button to go to black screen missed a couple of them because they were just there.
Seth Rollins said BITCH like 7 times when he had him. Come on!
Punk said the F word, I'm fairly certain, at least twice during the match, or at least coming down to the ring. So, what are we doing here? But fans kicked off about this. One fan on X wrote, "Hey Netflix, don't censor the middle finger. We're paying $22 for your service and for WWE to be unhinged." Another fan, quite right.
No, you're not.
Another fan wrote, "All the stuff I see on Netflix, and they want to put unnecessary censorship on Raw." Another one said they were worse than USA. And Elite Rockers wrote, they said, all caps this, "They censored Seth Rollins flipping off CM Punk with a black screen. The Netflix era is a scam."
A scam.
The lights on my phone, apparently.
Netflix is a scam. There we go.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, they're just taking your money and you don't get anything in return. You don't get millions of hours of TV at your fingertips. It's a scam, guys. We figured out Netflix once and for all.
That's why I get it. It's annoying, but it's not. This is it.
Yeah, this is kind of mental. Like, we pay for it to be unhinged. No, it's a PG show. No, you don't. You don't pay for it to be unhinged. What are you talking about? Like, they said there were some reports or rumors before they went to Netflix that maybe they would loosen up a bit. But Nick Khan and Triple H always said, no, we're not going to do that.
They still want to appeal to the widest audience possible, like you say. I think if it was unhinged, Punk and Seth would have bled gushers last night.
Yeah, definitely. It was just like, I don't know. This seems like a bit of an... Listen, I agree. Censoring moron is stupid.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's insane. Like, even 8-year-old kids are not flustered by the word moron. And yet, like, there are some inconsistencies there, as you pointed out. But it's the Fed. It's a PG show. It's a PG product.
Yeah, they're still trying to appeal to the widest audience possible and limiting. They're not completely cutting it off. Like there's more of an edgier element than they've had in previous years. But I think they're just like, well, is it really going to affect things that much if we censor this? Are people going to get more pissed off? A lot of people were pissed off, but it's not. It'll be forgotten by tomorrow.
It's not worth it.
Whereas sponsors would be like, we don't really want our product associated with that. It's the balance that they have to strike, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is a balance, absolutely. And look, I'm aware that some words are considered more offensive in the US versus the UK, right? When Saraya got suspended from AEW for saying the TWAT word, I was like, what? Like, you could say that to a receptionist at the hospital, like, hey, it's me, the word. And they'd be like, haha, they wouldn't be annoyed. It's just, you wouldn't call them that, obviously, because you just met them.
And let's not forget what Britt Baker's name rhymes with.
Well, Doctor, your name rhymes with Britt. And there are some more extreme examples, like see you next Tuesday.
Yes.
In Scotland, that's how you speak to your mates.
Yeah, that's a greeting.
Yes. Scotland and Australia are like,
come to our Glasgow show, you. Anyway.
All right, you bunch of... Yeah, that's how it works. I walk in... I see my friends for the first time in a while ago. I go, all right, you
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am always, so the bottom line is I know that some words, but is moron really that offensive?
I don't know.
I don't know. That seems a bit Fisher Price.
Yeah, a bit of an overreaction, to be fair, but again, this is very much a storm in a teacup that will be forgotten by tomorrow.
Netflix is a scam is so funny.
I am not cancelling my Netflix subscription, I'll tell you right now.
Hashtag cancel Netflix. They censored the word moron.
Joking. Bloody Roblox tonight, you kidding me? What are you doing?
Roblox end of the line. It'll be the end of the line for Netflix.
Oh, I tell you what.
Netflix, now that this scam has been exposed.
They're going to cancel WWE's thing because they've lost all their money. No one's got Netflix anymore. What are we doing?
Is that how much it is as well? $22.
It's one of those tier things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Full disclosure, my wife pays for our Netflix, so it's
like,
free for me, baby.
Mine's like 18. I pay for the 4K one.
Oh, nice.
Like I got the Gangster TV. It looks nice.
Yeah.
It looks nice. But my internet's a bit not the best. So. But yeah, cool. Netflix is a scam, guys. I bet you didn't know that.
Let us know your thoughts on that. And, we talked about some other stuff. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments. And while you're at it,
these wrestlers are a scam. It's 140 wrestlers you swear don't exist.
They do not exist, Andy. I swear it.
Look at these shiny mother effers.
love
Censor
them.
myself there. PG Murray, let's go. Bye.
Bye.
I do look a bit like one of the monkeys from the PG Tips advert, to be fair, with these goofy ears. So, hey, there you go. Bye.
Bye.